Hi and welcome guys to my second channel, in which we are going to learn how to make money through data processing using the ByteBanks platform. So maybe you ask, why a second channel? Well, I have decided to make this channel only about the data processing course and tutorials to keep things clean and organized, so people would find it easy to come back and watch these videos, again, whenever they want. And in the same time, keep up with any new data processing techniques and strategies that I post in the future. In the other hand, my main channel will cover many different domains and tutorials on how to make money online, and not just data processing. So make sure to subscribe to both channels. With that out of the way, let's talk about this course. So I divided the course into 5 videos, or parts. Part 1, which is the video you're watching right now, a general introduction and explanation on how data processing works. Part 2, creating an account on ByteBanks. Part 3, setting up hosting. Part 4, installing the data processing script of ByteBanks in your hosting. Part 5, conclusion. So let's go ahead and start explaining what exactly is data processing. And since I have talked about it before, you should at least have a slight idea about it. But if you still don't know nothing about it, don't worry, as I will explain it in a simpler and clearer way. So in the shortest way possible, data processing in our case is used in our computers or other devices, CPU and RAM, to decompress data packs that are sent to us from ByteBanks database. The ByteBanks database is loaded with hundreds of millions of compressed data packs, and they want your help to decompress them and turn them into valid informations. And the good thing is that help comes for a price. You lend them your device's CPU and RAM and electricity for a couple of hours, and in return, get paid for it. Now, if you don't know what a CPU or RAM or a data pack is, CPU is short for Central Processing Unit. It's that small chip in your computer or smartphone that executes instructions that make up a computer's programs and tasks. RAM is short for Random Access Memory, a form of computer memory that can be read and changed in any order, typically used to store the working data and machine code. A data pack is a compressed form of random data. In its compressed form, this data can't be used for anything that's why it needs to be decompressed, first using the computer, components, and programs. I know this kinda turned into a computer science lecture, which isn't our goal in here, but these things are a must-know when you're trying to get into this domain. And if you want to learn more and go deeper, a simple Google search would reveal everything about the data processing industry and how it works. Some of you might ask, why won't ByteBanks process data on their own? Why do they need other people's computers and devices? Well, they actually can process tens or even hundreds of thousands of data packs on their own. But we are talking about hundreds of millions of data packs. And to process this amount of data, you need thousands of computers and devices, which can be really expensive to get and set up. But instead, they decide to rent them, if that's the correct way to say it, and that would cost them a lot less. Okay, let's summarize what we learned so far. This here is your computer or smartphone, or any device that you are planning to use. Your device gets the data pack from the ByteBanks database, and by downloading it and storing it into a temporary file, your CPU and RAM converts the data pack into a decompressed form of data. After that, the new decompressed form of data is uploaded and sent back to the ByteBanks database. And all of that is done within a few seconds. Now, how much money can you make? For each processed data pack, ByteBanks pays around 4 to 7 thousandths of a penny. And that depends on 2 factors. The size of the data pack, which means the bigger the data pack, the more money you make by processing it. And the second factor is the power of your device's CPU. But that doesn't mean you need a very powerful and a modern CPU. In fact, the weakest CPU in the market can get the job done, as data processing doesn't include any CPU heavy tasks. So even if you have one of those early 2000s computers, don't worry, it still does the job and meets the requirements. Let's talk about that money part again. So 4 to 7 thousandths of a penny per one processed data pack. And on my experience, you can process on an average of 420 to 460 data packs within 1 hour. So you will make at least 168 per hour, which was never the case for me. I always make something between 2 to 250 per hour, and my computer isn't even that great or powerful. So let's say you let your computer process data for 10 hours daily for 30 days. That's 300 hours times an average of $2 per hour, which equals $600 per month. Now I know some people will say,
$600 per month is nothing, and it's not worth it, and don't forget the electricity bills, and...
Let's get something clear. This isn't Bitcoin mining or any other cryptocurrency mining. Now, if we talk about cryptocurrency mining, you might be right to think that it consumes a lot of electricity and power because it uses GPU in addition to other computer components. But we're talking about data processing, and data processing in our case doesn't use GPU power, so there is no need to be scared of the big electricity consumption. In fact, electricity consumption in this case is the same as leaving your computer idle, which would cost something between $30 to $40 per year if you run your computer for 10 hours daily, and that's for someone who lives in the US. It's usually lower in most countries, so electricity consumption is not a problem at all. Now, $600 per month is what you'll earn for letting your computer or any device process data for 10 hours per day. You can easily make $1,000 for letting it process data for 15 to 16 hours per day. And this is like the minimum amount you can get. I usually get between $725 and to $750 for 300 hours. And as I said before, my CPU isn't even that powerful and modern. In fact, I'm running an old Intel Core i3 2100, 3.1 GHz processor. And with all due respect, most people don't even get paid $600 per month in the third world countries. And some of them don't get that much even in countries like the US, Canada, UK, etc. So for me, and for a lot of people, that would be a win-win situation. Now, does this kind of data processing affect the lifetime of your device and damage it in the long term? As I have said before, this isn't Bitcoin or cryptocurrency mining, which are considered to be heavy tasks that may cause some damages for computers. On the other hand, data processing is not considered to be a heavy task, and it won't hurt your device in any kind in the long term. I have been processing data for byte banks for a couple of months now, and my computer is still the same as it always was. Okay guys, I didn't want this introduction video to be so long, so I've tried to only mention the important aspects and definitions. If you still have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me in the comments below. I'll try to answer every question. And also don't forget to subscribe and like this video. See you in the next video, where we can learn how to create an account on ByteBanks. Until then, stay cool.